Have you ever traveled through time? We do it every day.
Asgardia is a country with a population of more than 1 million people from more than 200 countries on Earth. Asgardia gives everyone equal opportunities, no matter what their earthly status is.
It is possible to create and live in the future right now. Are you ready? Forward progress is the solution to the entire human race. Our mission is to bridge new horizons. In Asgardia, there is no limit to the universal development in the fields of technology, finance, and arts. Asgardia is a new space and digital economy which creates opportunities for the global economy. We deliver innovations. Do you want to get on board with us? We are developing various kinds of digital businesses, attracting them to the Asgardia platform that can be backed by the means of our umbrella, i.e. franchising of the Asgardia brand. We can not only attract investments into space programs from prominent institutional investors, but also affordable amounts from the citizens of Asgardia. We comprise of more than 1 million people.
Asgardia is a chance to realize one's dream. This is a dream-driven space nation. Asgardia is a chance to belong to a community of free-thinking enthusiasts, goal-driven dreamers, and fearless innovators, theorists, and scientists.
We are the first space nation. One humanity, one unity.
Asgardia.
We are creating
the future.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
I'm Lem Topic, the Chair of Parliament, and we're live to the world on our informal Thursday evening meeting. Probably won't be a very long one because we spent 3 whole days together at the weekend, but we can cover everything that we need to. Just for those who join us for the first time, Asgardia is the world's first fully functioning digital democracy. No one's ever achieved this before, and we've done it through sheer effort and the inspirational leadership of Dr. Igor Asher-Bailey, who is the founder of the Space Nation Asgardia. As always, I'll go through my items and then open this up for everybody else, including to the Deputy Speaker, that's Peter Morn, who's had his meeting already today with the chairs of the committees. So let me go through my items. As I say, I expect it'll be a fairly short meeting because we covered everything at the weekend. First of all, thank you everyone who participated in our digital sitting at the weekend. I think it was really effective. We got a lot of work done, but most importantly of all, we made progress with our legislation. My goal is to have the minimum necessary amount of legislation. I don't want to have the maximum amount. We want to be a low regulation, high profit, high results society, and having thousands of laws does not really help with that very much. At the end of the day, every country, every nation operates on the basis of goodwill and common sense. And when those are missing, things don't work. When those are present, we don't really need to overregulate. So thank you everyone who was involved in the regulations, debates, and the progress of the work. Secondly, I think this is good evidence that the newly created Legislative Merit Review Group, LMRG, is really helping. John Fine is in charge of that ad hoc committee, and I think that really helped keep us efficient, focused, and on track in our debates. So thank you very much to John. I haven't checked to see if he's here, but I put that on the record anyway. Thirdly, the legislation and everything that was voted on will be in a summary, which will then be shared with everybody. And the pieces of legislation which were passed at third reading will now go for final approval. And if they get passed, if they get the final approval, then by decree they will become a part of the body of law of Asgardia. So that's what's going to happen there. Now, on to other matters, 3 other things. On Sunday morning, we are having an event to watch the landing of Firefly, a privately funded satellite which is hoping to make its lunar landing at around 08:45 GMT on Sunday morning, 2nd of March, which happens to be my birthday. So that's quite a good way to start the day. Of course, we do not know if it will be successful. We don't know the exact time yet, but we will be having an event. So we will advertise that again. Please do come along. We will have some speakers from Parliament and some from government. And a special guest will, I hope, join us as well. Simon Feast, who's the Chief Executive Officer of the British Interplanetary Society, the BIS, is probably going to join us as well. He's at a space conference, but I think he is going to join us if he can. So that will be exciting. And he'll say a few words and give us some context in why the British Interplanetary Society was set up in 1933. And we can compare the similarity with what the BIS seeks to do and what we ourselves are seeking to do. That's very exciting. It's a great piece of symmetry in what they're doing and what we are doing. So please do try to attend on Sunday morning. Next, so just 2 more things. Next, I'm very keen, very excited with an idea which came up in the previous meeting about developing the attractions of Asgardian residency. And Peter might want to say a little bit about that. I think it's a really great idea from one of our colleagues. I won't say it, I'll leave that for Peter and others to talk about. And the final thing is this. We sometimes forget that the whole objective is to have the first permanent human space habitation, the first child born in space. But with the advances that we're making, that should happen in both of those things should happen in our lifetime. That's one reason the Firefly landing is so important, because it is the first time that Asgardia's national symbols will be on another celestial object. I'd ask all of us to use that as a symbolic springboard to really get moving, to really talk up Asgardia and share that with our local media as well. And it's a very good time to do it. So my final request is, please reach out to the media and tell them that Asgardia hopes to be on the moon. And if it's a successful landing, you can tell them on Sunday or Monday that Asgardia made it to the moon. So let's go to Peter next, and then we'll open it up to everyone else in what will probably be a fairly short meeting today.
Thank you, Lambert. I think it'll be a fairly short report from the Deputy Chair of Parliament as well, because I think everybody was a little bit fatigued from the 3 days at the weekend. Certainly we did, though, discuss, as you've mentioned a little bit earlier, the possibility of a working group being arranged between the chairs of the committees of Parliament and our ministers. So we would all get together to discuss problems or issues with Asgardia, including and in particular the membership and the numbers of residents, which we've been trying to encourage to increase for some time, but we really could do with a little bit of injection. We've seen how good the ad hoc committee, which John has set up to review legislation, has done. And we are considering that it would be a good idea to, well, it was Benedetto's idea, to get together all the chairs of committees and the ministers, and we'll all bash around some ideas and come up with some good ones, hopefully. But particularly, I think, talking about the membership of residencies. That's pretty much all, Lambert, because it was quite a quiet meeting with well-behaved chairs, as I've come to expect, and a lot of civility and nothing in the way of rudeness. So well done to everyone, and that's about it.
Thank you, Peter. Those are our reports. Let me open it up for anybody else. As I said, don't think it'll be a very, very long meeting today, but it can be. We can have up to 1 hour. Ricky.
Yeah, I follow a lot of things on YouTube. Been talking about the Firefly and that, and I put in the comments about Asgardia son. So that's one way of getting the word out there. Uh, you know, uh, as far as news outlets, I've also sent some things, but I never hear back from them. But at least it gets sent.
Well, I'm grateful that you're doing that. And if you just put it out there, that raises our profile, and they'll make a note that you're someone to go to if they want to comment on space. So there's a good reason to keep doing it, and be patient. I think you'll get there, you'll make progress, and you'll get there just by doing it again and again and again. And having Simon Feast, if he is able to join us on Sunday, will be a new story in itself. Maybe the beginnings of a collaboration between Asgardia and the British Interplanetary Society. You may recall about a year ago, I gave a talk at the BIS, which went down very well, I think. And it began to develop our relationship in a very effective way. So this has been the next stage there. We must thank Cheryl Gallagher because she has been the mastermind behind our presence on the Firefly space mission. And later on this year, there'll be another opportunity because that's when our DNA hopefully will be sent to the moon as well. Ariadne and then Ricky. Ariadne?
Thank you very much. Well, today we received a magnificent letter, very optimistic, with Professor Sabatirin de Biclu. He wants to take the position of chair of education and youth. And I feel so happy for that decision. I think is a perfect person for that position. And I want to congratulate him because I saw him there in the Zoom. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, yeah, the election for that will almost certainly be at the next digital sitting. The reason for that is because we have so much to finish up. And once we start with youth and education legislation, that will be a whole lot of data and a whole lot of debate. And it has been suggested to me today that we do one this year, one next year, one the year after. It's a good idea. I haven't considered exactly how we do this yet, but it makes sense to have some objective process where everybody knows what's coming and when, as much as we can. One other thing, I'm hoping to set the dates for the next 3 sittings during the next week or two so that we can plan for the whole year. There's no reason to delay. We can just organize those 3 sittings so that everyone knows when and when they will be. Ricky.
Yeah, if you could, right after this, call me because being on the boat, I don't know how long I will actually have internet, but you can get me on WhatsApp.
Okay, I'll call you on WhatsApp after we finish this. Yeah, that'd be good. I'll be happy to do that. Yeah. Okay, does anyone else have anything you'd like to cover today? John.
I just wanted to say that the LMRG invitations have been sent out, and tell you, Lambert, to check the timeline that I put in there. I put a timeline document in there, and I put some tentative days for the next ALF and Parliament session. If those don't agree with you, let me know so that I can go in and change them and send out a new.
Okay, no, if Valiona could possibly just remind me to do that, I'll have a look at that. That's absolutely fine. Very happy to do that.
Yeah, I based it off a conversation we had earlier.
Yeah.
And I extrapolated when the next one would be from the conversation. So,
Cool. All right, that's great. I'll have a look.
but
That's helpful.
and also I saw Dr. Salvatani, as somebody would have to say that.
Yeah.
By Latin. Sorry.
Yeah.
I saw his post on or email, and really he has some really great objectives that he if he becomes chair that he's planning. So he has my support. I'd like to. I can't vote because I'm not in that committee, but it looks like he really has a good plan forward. To move forward in education. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know who all the candidates are going to be, but I liked what he wrote anyway.
Well, I'm pleased that there are people who want to do the job. So we won't have the election now, but I will formally, properly reopen the nominations for that, and then put a timetable for that election. In terms of date, when are you proposing for the next digital sitting? Is it June?
Yeah, I don't have that right here.
Okay, roughly speaking, I'm thinking about June.
Yeah,
September
the ALF,
and November.
On the I think the 10th, and then there's about a 2-week gap, and then the Parliament setting would be on the I think it's around 21st, 23rd. Yeah, 21st to the 23rd, I think.
That sounds about right, in June, and then the next one will be in September. I would say end of September, and then the final one will be the end of November. That's what I'm expecting. But I'll check.
Okay.
That sounds totally in line with our conversation. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks for that. Let's go to Ariadne next.
Oh, thank you. I need to send a letter directly to John Fine, but I want to know what is the subject that you want to notice that I send you a letter, because maybe you have a lot of letters. Please let me know. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ariadne. I'll let John respond directly to you directly. He'll need to find the letter.
Oh no, you just send it. I answer all my emails that come in, as long as it's the Asgardia email address. I answer all the emails I get, no matter who they're from. So, and if I see yours, I'm definitely going to answer it. So yeah, send it on. And just subject line, just say greetings. I don't know. It don't matter what you put in there. I'll notice it as soon as I see the address. And all my email comes over my phone, and so I see the email as soon as they're sent, and I answer them.
Okay, John. Greetings with a longer
that'd be fine.
words. Okay.
But
okay,
I usually answer them. I usually answer them within 24 hours.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Ariadne. Anybody else? Does anyone else have anything today? As I say, normally we don't have a very long meeting after the digital sitting. Okay, let me go to any other business. Just 3 things to remember. The most important is that we have our Firefly landing get together on the morning of Sunday, the 2nd of March. 08:45 GMT, I think, is landing, but we'll be starting earlier than that. So look out for the announcements, and we'll have a very interesting session, I'm sure. When the launch took place, we had a great session. It's really a good 90-minute event. So for the landing, it should be equally interesting. Let's hope that it works. But that's the exciting thing about live television from space and about space affairs. Everybody will watch to see if it's going to work or not, and we don't know. So that's really important. And the second thing, please do use this as an opportunity to tell your media that we are going to the moon, and we're hoping, and if it's a successful landing, you can say Asgardia is on the moon. That's fine. And hopefully Rebecca will have a few lines for us as well, documents that, or some press statement that we can then put out. And remember Simon Feast, hopefully the chief executive of the British Interplanetary Society, may be joining us as well briefly. And then the final thing is that we do have a lot of work to do this year. The more of us there are, the easier the work. So if you can find people who'd like to join, please ask them. It's a great thing to be involved in. No one loses by being in Asgardia, and society and the world wins. Okay, thank you. I don't see any other hands, so I think we'll finish there tonight. We got to 31 today, so when we get to 15, I'll shut it down. Ricky, I'll give you a call after this on WhatsApp. So thanks very much indeed. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll speak to you shortly, Ricky. Have a great
All right.
time. Thank you very much indeed,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.
Okay.
Oh,
All the best to you all. Bye-bye.
everyone.
everyone.